Ten Hag let down by the Glazers. What a contradiction we've seen today. Erik Ten Hag coming out and saying that he is planning to get in some signings in January, and obviously the body is telling him there is nothing like an activity that is going to take place in January. What a way to really collide with your manager in a way that you people would have really been speaking the same language, but obviously they've come out and really let Erik Ten Hag know that please, you are not going to get any player in January. Now, United have been told the real price of Bellingham. Is this the reason as to why they are not going to go ahead and really sign players in January? Yet the manager came out and really told us after that win in Moldova against Sheriff, 2-0 where Ronaldo scored his first goal of the season and Sancho scored his third, that obviously he is expecting to make a very good move to bring in 2 or 3 signings in the January transfer window. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokan David. The United Matters channel is the YouTube channel you're watching me on, and obviously this is Rokan David, and today we are into 2 stories: Erik Ten Hag and talking Jude Bellingham, and various sources coming in from Manchester United telling us how they've been scouting Jude Bellingham and how they missed out on him because he even came out at Old Trafford, met Sir Alex Ferguson, and he said no to Manchester United. Now, yesterday, the technical director of Manchester United, or football director, who goes by the names of John Mortaff, came out and really said the following: overall, we are ahead of schedule in our recruitment. We are ahead of schedule of our recruitment plans as envisaged at the start of the summer, and we do not anticipate the same level of activity in future windows. As always, our plan focuses on the summer. Now, if someone comes and tells you that we are not expecting to make more businesses like we were into the summer, because in the summer you spent close to 243 million pounds. So if that statement comes out and is made by the football director, you have to look at it twice. Are they not to go in and really spend huge? That might be the case, like meaning huge on how they've been spending before all they spent last season, because I think it has been really long to see United spend close to 230 million pounds. I don't remember that there was a season ever since I started supporting United when I saw United spend that amount of money. I never saw them spend that amount of money. But obviously, we've been spending big. When you look at how United has been spending for the rest of the years in the transfers, none of the clubs have spent more than United. Close, we spent £2 billion ever since United decided to make transfers in the Premier League. That's it, from 1992, I think, up to 2020. So those 3 decades put together, United has spent more than any other club in the world. Now, when you look at Manchester United, last season, we brought in Tyrell Malacia at 13 million pounds. Lisandro Martinez, 46 million pounds. That is 60 million pounds. Anthony, 85 million pounds. And Casemiro, close to 70 million pounds. When you add that amount of money, it tallies to 231 million pounds. Eriksson came in on a free. You all know that. So, John Mota, football director of Manchester United, is telling us that we are not going to spend as we're supposed to be spending. You get? Obviously, this is a confirmation of what Richard Arnold told those fans of United, that they were really seated into a pub when he told them that there is all the money to spend this season, but next summers, expect nothing to come out in the free. So this is something that is so much contradicting with what Erik Ten Hag told us. What did Erik Ten Hag tell us when that game really got done? That game of a team which goes by the names of Sheriff versus Manchester United. Ten Hag came out and told us that we have many meetings. We have to improve the structures in and around the club. We will also look to the window in January or next summer already, but also to improve our way to play by making plans. Erik Ten Hag is telling you that he's making plans. He is making plans for January and the summer. And obviously, when you look at United, they're really having areas that need reinforcement. If Lisandro Martinez or Rafael Varane gets an injury, we are back to square. We are back to square one. Meaning that we need a central defender who is agile and good on the ball. Central midfield, get Eriksen out of that team. Who is going to get that ball from the back four and really pass it? Sorry about that. Who is going to get the ball from the back four and really pass it to the forward or link the midfield to the attack? No one. Right back, Diego Dello gets an injury. Who plays as right back? When Lindelof was played as a right back against Sociedad, we lost the game. The centre forwards, I think for that, we are not all that bad off, but I think there are three areas that are really key, and I believe Erik ten Hag is really looking for players to come in and really compete with players like Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez, because for me, Harry Maguire or Lindelof are not competitors to these two. Diego Dello, Aaron Wan-Bissaka isn't a competitor, and Eriksen has no competitor. So I don't believe that any manager would have loved to be having players that are really so much okay in the team and knowing that we are untouchables. Not so. I believe every manager would have called for something very simple and really saying and indicating that, all right, I want the following to happen. Let us not be having players that are untouchables. He wants to be having players that can really feel the pressure at the club, because when you don't have that, then it really brings some bit of monopoly into your club. Obviously, you don't need monopoly into your club. So Ten Hag was telling us that for him, he's planning to bring in signings in January and the summer. And guess what? John Mata was telling us that we don't anticipate the same level of activity in the future window. So it shows you that there is a contradiction between the manager and what we call the board. The board is thinking otherwise from what the manager wants. The manager has stipulated it out there and reiterated most of the times that he wants more signings and he wants quality signings. Obviously, people will say, they've spent a lot on you. No manager got what you got in the first season of Manchester United, but that's not to blame. He's not the one to blame. He's not the one who told them to go in for Anthony towards the end of the season, towards the end of the transfer window. If at all they had gone in for Anthony early enough, they would have paid close to 60. So they would have paid maximum £50 million. Casemiro, if they had gone in earlier, they would have paid £40 million, meaning that they would have saved 30 on Casemiro and 40 on Anthony, meaning that £70 million were really spent stupidly and foolishly by these people. And obviously that really brought to what we are really letting you about today, because we are doing stories like this because of the reason the board spent out of its budget, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe was here, that he wants to go on and really buy United. So Erik ten Hag has been let down by the Glazers. No January transfer windows. That's it. Now, you ask yourself, because United saying that they're not going to be unspendtive as they were in the previous season, does it mean that we're going to go back to our usual budget of £150 million? I don't know, because if I told you to go back to the £150 million budget, obviously, I think that won't be bad for Erik ten Hag. Getting £283 million first season, next season, £150 million in the summer, not bad. I think if at all Erik ten Hag really scouts very well, he can use that to bring in close to 3 or 4 players, according to me, because he will go ahead and really sell some players out of Manchester United come next summer. But January is so much pivotal. Why is it so much pivotal? To me, I believe by January, we would have really hit what we call the real title race. I believe we aren't going to lose very many games, and we are going to be in a hand's reach of the title. That's it. No team is going to be ahead of us with very many points, like 10. You get, if the lead of the table happens to be far away from us, I believe he'll be like 6 points. It will be a 6-point stretch away from us. That's it. Because I don't believe us going ahead to lose games that we are supposed not to lose. And obviously, us collecting those points that we collect, well, failed to collect at Old Trafford shows you something different. The big team like Liverpool being beaten at Old Trafford, that's a very big indicator, meaning that we've sent a message that United or Old Trafford is back to being a fortress. So I believe that will really cause Erik ten Hag to tell his bosses, please get me more signings, because he has already indicated it in his last post-match press conference down in Moldova. In there for you. Now, let's get to another story that I really believe has really led to this all. And I told you guys that when I saw United not having bought an English player the previous summer or the recently concluded summer, I got to know that they were willing to go in and really spend huge onto an English player. That's it. I really felt it, and exactly it has really gone ahead to manifest in here onto this channel, which goes by the names of United Matters channel, because we've been given a story coming in from The Athletic. Laurie Whitwell, he's been a correspondent of Manchester United at The Athletic. He has told us that Borussia Dortmund value Jude Bellingham at 150 million euros or 136 million pounds. That's it. Now, let me connect these two. Let me add these dots. When the board comes out and says they're not anticipating to go on and really spend a lot of money as they spent last season, meaning that they are not willing to go ahead and really go north of 230, go north of 150 or 130. And if at all you see that they are saying that, and the value of Jude Bellingham is 131 million pounds, it sends me a clear message in my eyes or in my brain that this board wants to go ahead and sign Jude Bellingham, because trust me, the hottest asset, the hottest English player on the market is Jude Bellingham. Every club is chasing in for him. Barcelona will want to have him, Real Madrid will want to have him, Bayern will want to have him, PSG, Real Madrid, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, every big club in Europe would like to be having a Jude Bellingham. And obviously, his destination is obviously going to be the Premier League. But who is really going to come up and really put up this amount of money that is being requested? Don't you think this is the reason as to why United is telling us that they are not going to spend as they spent last season, because they want to put their budget on only one player? Because when you look at the way United is being playing, when you look at the way Erik ten Hag is playing United players nowadays, it's clear that most of them aren't starting. The only English players assured of starting are Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho. Luke Shaw, no way. Harry Maguire, not at all. Bissaka, not at all. Remember, last season, we used to be having close to 6 English players start in every lineup of United. But this time around, things have really somersaulted, and they're really going the way Erik ten Hag wants them, not the way the board wants them. And I'm telling you this, the board doesn't like this. They don't like this. They would like to see United having close to 5 English players. That's it. They would like to see that. And I know this is why they've come out and said they're not going to be as aggressive as they've been this season. And what they are going to do, they are going to go ahead and really spend little. But I know that little, they are going to spend it on one English player. I believe United will really go and tell Ten Hag, please, we have Jude Bellingham. Do you love him? We have a budget of 131 million pounds. Can we get him? Can we get him for you? I don't believe Ten Hag is going to really accept it. He'll say, no, I don't want him. I don't want him. If he goes for that amount of money, can you get me that amount of money and get me a centre forward, get me a right back, get me a midfielder and a centre forward? You get? So, and obviously he's the manager, and when you look at how he has really overturned the season of United, it shows you how exactly he has gone ahead to go on and really shame these Glazers. But the Glazers and the board are telling us that let's not anticipate a very busy season of transfers. And we are here to let you know that Jude Bellingham has a price tag of 150 million pounds onto his head. That is a man who goes by the names of Jude Bellingham. So I don't know what you think about that, but obviously this is the United Matters channel, and we are in here to bring you this information as far as this is concerned in here onto the channel. Now, after telling you that Jude Bellingham is costing 131 million pounds, and that's the amount of money that Borussia Dortmund is really wanting, and normally ask, why is he that expensive? The reason is simple. The guy is that expensive because very many clubs are really interested in him. That's it. And he's young. 19 years. 19 years of age. You get? He's 19. So meaning that he has a very huge career ahead of him. That's why he's being sold expensively. Now, Lord Whitwell went ahead to let us know that Manchester United had watched Bellingham play 46 times at the various levels since the age of 12, and the message that kept coming back was that he was a good player to be signed immediately. But obviously we couldn't sign him because we never had a manager who had a CV like that of Erik Ten Hag. And I believe, I'm repeating myself again, if at all we really had Ten Hag during those times when when Jude Bellingham and Erling Haaland came at Carrington, obviously he would have convinced them to stay because they are players that have been made world stars by Erik Ten Hag, and I believe they would have seen him as a best manager. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was really a man that couldn't convince any agent to really get him his player there. Then Brian Robson said, we thought as Manchester United that we had Bellingham after his tour of Carrington, and it would have been a great signing for us, but he definitely has it in him to become a great player for England. So to me, I believe he did the best choice, because he was not going to go ahead and to be played by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 16 years of age, when you're having players like Matic who are really better than Scott McTominay and Freddie, but the manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, by then went in for those ones, then would he have gone in for a senior-old to bench them? No way. He would have gone in for these others in the first. So he made a very good choice. That's why right now he's really at 131 million pounds in there for you, which is equivalent to 150 million euros. Thank you guys for watching in. Rokan David is my name. United Matters channel is the YouTube channel. First video of the day. Slide into the comment section. Tell me what you think about these stories. Ten Hag let down by the Glazers. Ten Hag wants January transfer windows, wants January transfer signings, and obviously the board is telling him, no, we can't spend money in January, and in the summer you're not going to spend as big as we spent. And then Jude Bellingham for 150 million pounds, sorry, 150 million euros from Borussia Dortmund to Manchester United. And your thoughts are really welcome into the comment section below. Tell me what you think about these stories, and obviously Rokan David is my name. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. I'm coming back in a nick of time. I'm out.